I'll say I'm glad I had the AMC Stubbs A-list. So, I just saw The Possession of Hannah Grace, which is a horror movie that nobody's really seen. There haven't been a lot of critic reviews for this movie. There also hasn't been a lot of marketing for this movie. Ramping it up before the week, they're like, come on, we gotta get the promotions going, we gotta promote this movie, Nobody saw this movie. It stars Shay Mitchell from Pretty Little Liars as Megan, who is an ex-cop, and she's just got out of rehab because the movie can't decide if she's addicted to alcohol or if she's addicted to drugs, but anywho, she just got out of rehab and now she gets a job at a morgue in Boston. When she has to look after the body of a dead person named Hannah Grace, some strange goings-on happen. So again, I saw this movie. It's mind-blowing to me. I mean, I can see why this movie didn't make any money. This is one of the most uneventful movies I have seen in the longest time. This is so bland and so boring. I can't just watch characters walk up and down hallways in a horror movie. How, original. No, it's not. A long shot of a hallway is not original in a horror movie. When you stage it in a way where it seems like something's gonna pop up and it doesn't, and you're still just lingering on that shot of the hallway, you are putting people to sleep. Whoever made this movie, okay? That's what I gotta say. Let's touch upon the title. The few critics who have reviewed this movie have touched upon the title. I know some of them have. Why is this movie called The Possession of Hannah Grace? The possession scene happens at the very beginning. I mean, I guess throughout the movie, body's still got the demon in her, but, like, I don't see why it's called that. It should have been called something else. A lot of hallways in this movie. I don't know. From a filmmaking standpoint, this movie is a complete and utter failure. Let's talk about the performances first. Shay Mitchell is probably the one bright spot of this movie, for the most part. I think she does deliver her dialogue very well. But when it comes to facial expressions, she's just emotionless. She doesn't really express what she's feeling with her face. Like, it's almost like she's faceless, you know? And also, I feel like her casting is just a byproduct of the producers being like, well, you know what? This is going to be an R-rated horror film. We can't make it PG-13. We gotta go the extra mile here. So we gotta get fans of a TV show in here. Who do we cast? Oh, I don't know. Maybe, I've been watching Pretty Little Liars lately, and, I want to go with, not Ashley Benson, not Lucy Hale, not the other one that nobody knows the name of, but Shay Mitchell. Oh my god! Oscar-winning actress right there. That is brilliant, man. Let's put her in the movie. Sure, I mean, so you're hitting that demographic with Pretty Little Liars. It's just like, okay, you're trying to get people who watch Pretty Little Liars to see the movie, which they clearly didn't. And then it's just like, well, we need a pretty attractive face in the movie, so Shay Mitchell, here you go, guys. Here's a chick with sex appeal. It's like, yeah, we get it. Shay Mitchell's sexy. She's good looking. But it's like, that doesn't make or break the movie here. So for those of you that don't know, Stana Katic is in this movie. Beckett from Castle. Stana Katic is in this movie. Why are TV actors in this movie? Constantly. I gotta say this. Stana Katic in this movie, or Stana Katic, however the hell you say her name. Wow. She might give the worst performance in the entire movie. Her dialogue is beyond atrocious. Her delivery is atrocious. I seriously do not know who the production designer for this movie was. This movie was filmed where I live. It was filmed in Boston. It was filmed in Government Center in Boston. For those of you that are Boston residents, you will know that there is a big, ugly building there. That is City Hall Plaza. I call that building Big Ugly. When you walk into that building, you have to take care of your parking tickets, your car registration, other shit that you have to deal with on a daily basis in order to live your life. And going into that building, it is not pretty. That is a pretty dirty building inside. It is ugly. It is not very colorful in there. Looks like you're walking in to George Orwell's 1984 novel and Big Brother is watching you. So, whoever the production designer was for this movie, why in the living shit shit would you make Big Ugly a hospital / morgue? The funny thing is the exterior shot of Big Ugly in Government Center, they throw this sign that says Boston Metro Hospital. Did they not have the money to just shoot an exterior sign of Massachusetts General Hospital and then go to a soundstage somewhere and just build a replica set of a hospital and just film in there? Literally shot the exterior of Big Ugly and then they shot inside Big Ugly. Why would you shoot in there? First of all, it doesn't look like a hospital at all. It doesn't look like a morgue at all. Third of all, it's the most bland building ever. Boston residents, you know what I'm talking about. If you've ever been in there, it's tasteless. It's drab. It's dreary. I don't know what they were going for with this. And why does this movie just lacks a musical score? I don't know why. That's something I really noticed. I'm like, I think this movie would have benefited from a musical score that maybe would have added to the atmosphere and the suspense of the movie. But it's just, for most of the movie, it's just people talking and walking in hallways. So, I mean, I guess you don't need a musical score for that. But, I mean, it still would have benefited from a musical score. The more and more I think about this movie, the more I'm just flabbergasted that this got released. Before I continue into more of the failures of filmmaking, I just want to say that because they failed so much at filmmaking, there were scenes where I was laughing my ass off. Like, for instance, here's another thing. The body of Hannah Grace is in the morgue, and the close-up of it is a giant dummy. I laughed my ass off. Just knowing that it was a dummy and it wasn't like an animatronic or an actual person. I'm like, you got a dummy, and its face looks like clay. That is awesome. I fucking hate this movie. Shit like that I was laughing at, and the creature just going... just trying to move all over the place. It was hilarious. This movie, it's 85 minutes long, but they continually need to throw numerous subplots into our faces. Like, there's this whole subplot with Shay Mitchell's character's ex-boyfriend. He's like, hey, you know what? Did you steal my Xanax? Why is this a thing? Why should we care about Xanax? This is a fucking horror movie. I don't care about the damn Xanax. I don't know who the director of photography was for this movie, but when eventually shit starts to go down and the movie's still really boring, even when it's going down, for some reason, whoever the director of photography was decided to use shaky cam. So what does that lead to? A lot of uneasiness, a lot of not knowing what's going on, because there's a lot of flash cutting. If you know how to use shaky cam, use shaky cam. If you don't know how to use it, don't freaking use it. Please. It's like filmmaking 101. I don't need the average length of a shot in an action scene to last 1 millisecond. That's what happened here. Also, terrible ADR. There are so many scenes that are ADR. Shay Mitchell has 2 of them. I counted 2 from Shay Mitchell's character. We're still pointing out ADR errors in 2018. Like, we're not advanced enough yet to fix that? Fucking movie. I don't think this movie is very well directed. I don't know who the director is, but nothing's really staged all that well, and it doesn't really add any atmosphere or scares to the genre. What he builds here is just generic jump scares. Somebody will show up behind a door when somebody closes a door. You know when the jump scares are coming. It's just lazy. It's lazy directing, it's lazy writing, and let's talk about the writing for a minute, because whoever wrote this movie, no idea who, Brian Sieve, never heard of the guy. I don't think he's ever going to make another Hollywood movie again. I mean, it's almost like he watched The Exorcist and he's like, yeah, I can do it better. No, you can't. You cannot. Don't. Every horror movie cliche is in this movie. A lot a lot of inspiration is taken from The Exorcist. It seems like there's some things that are ripped straight out of The Exorcist. And because the movie's so short, it actually felt like it was an eternity, there's little room for explanation. The way to kill the entity is the most simple thing ever. It's lazy. Like, they couldn't come up with a clever way to kill the entity. Horror movies like this can work. We've seen it before with The Autopsy of Jane Doe. If you haven't seen that movie, definitely check it out. I think it's an underrated horror film. It's an independent horror film, and the third act of that movie gets a little but, I mean, even then, it's not horrible. But, I mean, that's proof that contained horror movies like this can be good, and quite possibly could succeed. Because that movie also takes place in a morgue. And that's really the only location for the film. I think there's a couple of exterior scenes, maybe one scene that takes place in, like, the town, but the majority of that movie, I'd say about 97% of that movie, takes place in the morgue. They crafted a really good movie with that. They did a really good job at crafting that movie with that contained setting. That's something that I can appreciate with this movie, but it just fails to really capture what the filmmakers set out to make with the possession of Hannah Grace. Like, we know that it's there. We know that the formula for a contained movie like this can work. We've seen contained thrillers, contained action films. It works. But for some reason, it's almost like these filmmakers didn't go to film school. Honestly, this felt like it was a student-made film with so many technical errors, writing flaws, and just inexperienced filmmakers. This is one of the worst films of the year. Luckily, there were some sequences that made me laugh my ass off. Not in the way the filmmakers intended. But I mean, at least I got a little bit of enjoyment out of the movie. Still not going to save the grade of this movie, though. I'm going to give Ugly Hallways an F.
Forget about it!
Yes, forget about it.
Guys, thank you for checking out my review of The Possession of Hannah Grace. Just call it Ugly Hallways, because that's what it is. Definitely check out some reviews. I'm hoping to see Anna in the Apocalypse tomorrow. Cannot wait to see that. Been looking forward to that. Been dying for that. You guys are the best. I will post my link to my website there. You will find all the links to my social media accounts. That will be in the description below. I'll see you guys soon. Have a good one.